Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone in the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha Whale Beginner Artist Self-Proclaimed and your boy Tosan. Welcome to the stream. For today I will be doing some art stream here, and that program will be that I'm going to draw Banzoin Hakka, the coolest and the cutest exorcist from Kuni. So here, like, a member from Holostars English Vanguard and Tempest Vanguard. Even the guild is called Tempest, and they're like the Vanguards out of. But now, not really like Vanguards. They're like part of our whole guild, rather. And this is like part of a task challenge, more or less, where I want to draw like every single holomem. Also like kind of a good thing to do, since if I do not draw I get rusty. So I was like, okay, let's draw every week like minimum one time and draw like holomembers like while I'm at it, you know. And regarding that, I've been like on that for, you know, since like a weekly kind of thing, and the week has like, the year has like about how many weeks? Take like 4 and then 12 something. It has like something about 44, 48 weeks or so, and I'm like on that for like more than a year, like with that one. And for today, I like going to hit my finish line regarding drawing holomems. Like Banzoin Hakka is like the last one to draw, and I haven't like drawn them before, you know, so I can't. If they were like members I have drawn before and be like, through them, I can skip them, you know. But now I'm at that point, so yeah. You have on the left side some samples to like know what to expect regarding art style, you know. But for the future, I can't really guarantee if I'm gonna draw holomems again. It depends like on events, you know, recent happenings, like, you know, like if there's like some cool event going on, 3D, maybe like even a concert, you know, like Holofest, for example, where I'm gonna be like, yeah, maybe, and if there's like nothing really going on, then I don't know either. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do a reference drawings from something. Gonna see if I can like pull that off. Yeah, let's see. I want to draw like something, let's say like coolish, you know. I'm gonna like see if I can pull it off even in the first place. And if it like works in that style, like chibi. I'm gonna like see. I think I will draw fingers, but like little sausage fingers. I'm gonna like see if this like and this can, like, if I'm fast, take like 1 hour, but usually I'm not this will not be a 1 draw, maybe a 2 draws, and average speed is like about 2 hours, and yeah. But if I'm getting like really fast, yeah, might as well I can do it in 1 hour. It depends. Like, it's my first time drawing Hakka, and I think since the last time, like the last member of the challenge, you know, of like drawing every holomem, so I'm gonna be like, yeah, maybe like edit like strong as best as I can. But the thing is also lack of time as well. I was like busy with something that took a lot of my free time yesterday, so I had like to move the art stream that was supposed to be like yesterday like to 2 days, so here we are. But I think like it's better late than never at all with those kind of things, so yeah. I think if I'm gonna upload this picture here, then at some point I will put it out of like some meme. And maybe I will get flamed, I don't know. But I'm also not sure if I'm gonna do it on X, you know. I've kind of like said on stream, no, not really on Twitter or anything, you know, just like on stream. And it was kind of like the opinion on like, yeah, I think I will not post on X ever again. There was like the thing with like clan card, you know, and Croc. So it kind of was like, you know. But the last time like I went like on X, you know, and browsed like a little bit, even like on the, not for the For You, but like follower timeline. There I kinda was like, you know, it doesn't really feel like the same anymore. Like I see like after 2 swipes or so, or 3 swipes, like already some ads, you know, to like things that I'm not interested in. And I did like things like hide this ad, you know, like in the past and everything, but I don't like what they did to the Bird app. It's not even a Bird app anymore. Bird is dead. You're like to the trash can. Well, maybe you can get it. You can only get it with pay to win, then it's gonna be Twitter Blue, you know. But still, you're gonna be like evasive ads, or you know. I think it's not really like YouTube Premium, you know, where you really like can like watch things without ads, but sometimes they're really good ads, you know, like if you're in Japan, like the McDonald's ads, you know, they like have a lot in there, or you know, like long man. long man, like this one ad there regarding like some sakimi gamu and a guy sakimi gamu or something like that. And it had like a whole plot line regarding this ad, you know. It's not like the same jingle and everything they like play like the same skits, but it's like continuation, and it's like something super unique. It's like a lot of fun. And I do like watching, you know, there's like things like reaction slot, but when it's like a thing you're like really interested in, like fine, hey, it's like kind of cool, you know, and like let's watch the reaction of people who like see it the first time, and yeah, and what do you think about the plotline, you know? But yeah. You're kind of like thinking, you know, maybe you could like go as to cosplay this guy within a guy with the long sakemi gomu, you know. But yeah, if it's where like ads like those, no issues, but there's lately like a lot of like ad slop as well, so yeah. Maybe make the body a lot smaller. Like really long arms and then small legs. Honest, if I gonna draw Altair, I really have to like to make it like so that I never draw legs with him. And it's like, sir, where are your legs? As well. If I ever get to draw Altair again. But I also need to make sure it's like balanced something. Where's the thumb? That's the right hand when thumb is like hiding somewhere, but could I edit somewhere? Maybe like where she. around here maybe. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see how. It's not difficult. Maybe like with this kind of again, the eyebrows are gonna do something late. Okay, let's see. Bird people. I like a lot more bird tubers in Holo Pro. It was early, like, you know, when Halo Myth debuted, there were like not many birds, you know, for holo birds. But like Shuba, and then like Kiara. But afterwards, a lot of birds. It's kind of like, you know, the question, okay, what else could we like bring in? Like, we have a Clanker, we have a Fister, like Justice. And I saw like in Instagram of Hololive news or so that Indonesia Hololive Idea gets like a new wave or so, a new group. Like we had like the first with Muna, Yofi, and like Isse. Then there was like another wave with Ollie, Rain, and Anya. And then Kobo, Zeta, and Kaela as the latest, and now there's like gonna be the next one. I don't remember like quite when. Next week maybe? Like sometimes in JP they make like the thing of like, yeah, with Holox for example, no prior, not really like 2 weeks or 1 week in advance, just like out of nowhere, and then okay, there is gonna be Thor, and then what the hell, and really like hype promotion trailer and everything, then yeah. And they just drop any like a bomb out of nowhere, and then and even still with no proper preparation and everything, people like still showed up also, like a lot of people like broke some records like somewhat, and you know, this was the latest whole life JP, and then other than that nothing else anymore. There's like whole life device, you know, but let's say like in theming, you know, nothing like as cool and original. There was like things like Hololive Fantasy, you know, like where we have Marin, Pecora, you know, like Noel and like Flair, you know, like clear like fantasy themes, something like that. Okay, Rushia as well, you know, as Necromancer, but you know, there was like something of a thematic, and now all the themat and Holox is like something of a secret organization, like Samurai, demon, like a Laplace demon or something like that, Laplace, something like of a bird tuber with an all-seeing eye or something like that. They had like something of a cool bunch also. Coyote, yes, the brains of the group, like all of those things, you know. And they're like self-proclaimed, yeah, we're gonna claim the world, you know, we're gonna try to like get world domination, but then they actually did nothing to like get far to this goal. But when they like first dropped in like the concept, the character designs, you know, it was like, holy crap, it's so amazing, it's so cool, you know. And cool and badass, and but the leader's cute, but you know, and then we're gonna look at it, and then yeah, and turns out they're comedians, and then yeah, whatever. But still, it was like it's like the magic there, you know. With Indonesia, we have like no creations there, for example, right? So far, and it has been like a long time. Be like old. Like it has been since 2019 since I like got into like like watching VTubers or so, you know. I was like something off with like Hizuna Ai and then like Nekomiya Hinata, you know. And after some point I like watched like a lot of clips from other like VTubers, you know, like that are like of companies like Nijisanji or like Hololive at some point, you know. But it was like a lot like that. And then I kind of was like, man, do like looking forward to like some English speaking ones, not only like you know, with like Japanese clips, you know. The thing is like kind of like, as a weeb you like watch animes like subtitles anyways, you know, and then seeing like entertainment like how it is in Japan, you know, like not only the what is like television also, but actually like, you know, how does the YouTube work? Like at some point it did like slip into the cracks of like the algorithm for me, and then yeah, but it was like surely something, you know. And it was like for me like my own little hobby. I kind of was like thinking until I like kind of like randomly found out, hey, my little bro, like someone in my family changed his profile picture to like Ina, and then was like, ah, you too. And then yeah, maybe it was like nothing, like a little niche that I enjoyed for myself, you know. But yeah, I guess like we come like out of the same, you know, if you like share the same genes, I think like, yeah, I suppose this was like destined to happen at some point. But okay, so let me like see, this will take here a while. I think like I'm gonna make sure to like do it like roughly for the starter, and yeah, kind of like his hair, the recognizability needs to be like there for the starters. Something like weird with the hair shape or so. Like see, it's like something like, I don't know. something like, no, something like this. Like how the Hakitos are like drawn. Like that you have one side like, I don't know how you call it. It's like a lot of curves. And then here's some curves. But those are like not part of the hair, but like hair decoration also. And then I have to find a balance with that. Some of those curves are like really big, big chunks of like that like take off from the hair. But yeah, gonna like see like the balance. The balance is important. Of course, they're like at some point like designs are like easier to draw, you know, with like different hairstyles. But the thing is like, if the OG is like super recognizable, then I'm gonna stick to the OG, you know. Like in certain styles you don't like draw the eyes colors or something like that. My one, I do not draw eye colors usually. It's just like a white blob and then easy. It's like easy, but it's like it like simplifies a lot of like things. And then yeah. And for the longest time I've like drawn like this, but still I am good at like drawing like, it's like say like depressive stuff, I suppose. Like something like emo face, and I think like Hakka has like one not art, but like outfit where he looks like emo, something like can't really say if it's like emo, but you know, like where his outfit is like, you know, has like those emo vibes somewhat. Not really sure like how I can describe it, since I myself am not really into that outfit style. I'm not really into it, I must like say. But I suppose like it's the aura, you know, like something that people get drawn to. And oh, he's just like me, for real, for real. And yeah. But yeah, if I don't know like what Japanese artists like think when they like when it's like West meets like East, you know, regarding like clothing styles, you know. Be like, holy crap, I'm not familiar with this fashion direction, you know. What is that? This is you know, it's like really unfamiliar in a sense. Usually like when I'm draw or like when I look like at stuff that I like find attractive, it's kind of like, yeah, cute anime girls, you know. And then maybe like things like Jirai-K, you know, like some of the latest ones, but usually it's like, you know, maybe like Go Flowly, JK outfits, you know, maid outfits, bunny outfits, and then if we call like the what I see sometimes is like, okay, people like completely dress in black, you know, leather jacket, and so they color their hairs like black, they wear like some makeup, you know, make like the area around their eyes is like dark, you know, something like that. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Some people I know, or like a senpai of mine, was something, had like this kind of art fashion style as well, and be like, yeah, they're still like normal human beings, you know, but it's kind of like the kind of like expression, you know, kind of like things that like emit the aura, you know, it's kind of like different. But not really like you know, like if you talk to them, like pretty normal, pretty cool, you know, pretty chill, you know, let's say chill and normal. But when it's just like looking at them, it's kind of like, you know, something like outcast in a sense, you know. I'm not just like you. I'm not sure like how I should like call it, what I think about it. But yeah, I think like I need to like do some research about that, I must like say. In the end, it's just like putting on some clothes, but it's like something's like, you know, similar like, it's like about, you know, not like those pompadour hairs, you know, like Higashita Josuke, or like the main character from Yu Yu Hakusho, like regarding the hairstyle. Maybe it's not the main character, this was like the other guy in Yu Yu Hakusho. Don't really know the name. I just remember I played like a Game Boy Advance game or something like that with Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's like I kind of like know of these characters and storylines, you know. But apparently it is like a pretty good title, you know, like with some of the coolest villains and like arcs, you know. So gonna like check it out if I ever have like the time to do so. I like a lot of old classics that really like set the tone, that I really like the goats back in the days. To define like some things in like the shonen genre, and people like keep copying that. And then it's also like, you know, the same writer who like subverts the expectations and yeah, make something like completely new and like more interesting stuff. Like it's kind of like crazy like how some stories like start off, you know, like from those amazing writers, and then like if you look at it nowadays, it's like how really basic things. And some of those like things do get like anime adaptation, and it's kind of like, yeah. Okay, how did I drift after anime? I think like, yeah, East meets West regarding like fashion style, and at some point it's kind of like, yeah, drift to anime. Like if I look at JP members, it stays like mostly in that lane regarding like the fashion style. Sometimes it goes like in the direction of fantasy, you know, Alice in Wonderland. Or that they were like some JRK. Well, if I remember like Kagurameas, for example, there's like from she was indie, then at some point company, then indie, then company again. I think like currently she's like, you know, something like that. And JK, something like that, yeah. Like if I think about it, yeah, JP VTubers, they tend to go those directions regarding the outfit choices. And then there are things like New Year outfits, you know, when they wear like things of a yukata or like kimono, you know, something like that. Yeah. If I think about it. And then there are casual outfits, you know, but with casual outfits there are like many ways. Like most of them pretty normal, blends really well with the character, then like with how this base design was like, you know. And it's like nothing too crazy, sometimes like an extra new hairstyle, you know. I kinda like for like Holostars, you know, like when they wore like all the suits, you know. The suit suit stars, holo suits or so, whatever. And I kinda like that. But still I have like to like watch I still like the only thing I like saw is like, okay, announcement, then at some points like the reveals, you know. I was not really like there for the reveal stream. I was just like, you know, busy with my own stuff, and then when like they posted like, you know, oh, I reviewed my outfit, here's like how it looks like, then yeah, that's like how I know. Like, this kind of sense. But not really sure, like but they did also like something like kind of program with that, you know, like to sell their merch. So I think like I remember that. They did like a lot of like those kind of things, like with the butler kind of like thing, but now it's like, what was that? Not gallery, or something like, they had like some name with that, the hashtag, you know, regarding like those suits. It was like the Tempest boys only, like not Vanguard. But would have been interesting, not really sure. Adventurers Guild and the suits. Well, I think like it's just leading more to the fact that they are Holostars, you know, rather than like, yeah, they are like, they used to be adventurers, or like, you know, something like that. Like something more, how it's called, how do you say, a little bit more fantasy-ish, you know, things like that. Yeah. This is like Altair's like first alternate outfit, like with the suits, yeah. I think like about that. There were like things like that he was like absent, and so yeah. Pretty much. But nothing much in a while. Oh, trolleys. I think I'd try without the coat. With the feather coat. Then I have to like to try his weirdly looking hand. Got like corrupted or so. There was like something about the lore. With the corruption beast or something like that. I really put a finger like on the like lore of like Tempest, you know. Like there were not many lore drops. We had like, sometimes I talk about like things like that, like the boys on stream. And yeah. I remember like Gerard dropped like something of a big thing. But it's like always like things they talk about on stream, and it gets nowhere recorded really. You have to like be there, and then yeah. I'm not really sure like if Corruption Beast had like something to do with COVID or so. Like like things like Roos's lore video, for example, is like, yeah, his friends like fell to the corruption beast or so, and then they became a corruption beast, and then Roos also got like consumed by it or something like that, but he didn't die. Instead, he grew like a mask or something like that, which is like somewhat broken, maybe, and yeah, something like that. And could be, or maybe you got COVID too, but it didn't kill you, you survived, you're like the last survivor of your friends or something like that. I don't know, it could be like some reference to like real life story, could, who knows, but it's like kind of like the kind of setup or so. And also maybe can like add something lore-wise more too, that regarding like the corruption beast, you know. But every single time, like for example the 3D reveals, you know, 3D live streams, the corruption beasts, they enter randomly like the live 3D, and then they get one shot by like some wobbly attacks or so. Then I don't know if how to take them seriously. Like wobbly attacks, I don't know, they enter the room, they wobble from left to right, and then okay, when they talk like about 2-3 minutes, you know, like as a talk show, then okay, I'm gonna draw my bow, or I'm gonna take my gun and then point at them, and one at a, you know, like one at a time or something like that, and they just stand and wobble from left to right, kind of like, you know, I'm not sure, like, are corruption bees actually something dangerous, or are they really like that weak, and for some reason you effed up so much that you got consumed by it? I don't know. It's kind of like, oh, if I run, find out, you know, oh, what is that, you know, and poking for a stick, you know, and making fun of how slow it walks like a zombie, you know. Then if you're not careful enough, and bam, it's over, something like that. I'm not sure. I love the boys, but the way like corruption bees like in those kind of sentiment has been like used is like really uncreative, I must like say. Well, there's an exception, you know, like with Octavio's 3D. I think like the way he handled that was like pretty interesting, pretty smart. Actually, it's like, you know, you actually are able to lose against them. It's like not that they're like random mobs like slimes that you can like one-shot, you know, like Shinri, for example, like one-shotted them with his arrows, you know, like one-shot bam, one-shot bam, or something like that. But maybe, you know, I'm not really sure like if in Octavio's case it was like our corruption beast or so, but it was like his puppet, Octoposse. I don't know like why he called it like that way. Maybe like hee hee haha, you know, funny. But yeah, that something happened that within those, and then maybe it has like something to do with that. Not really sure. But crew like too strong. The army squad try to like fight it together, and then they are not successful, and then okay, let's sleep, let's sing our sleep song, like let's be an idol with the power of music, and you know, let my feelings reach them, and then yeah, and I mean like yeah, fair, you know, that you like let the performance speak for themselves rather than like things like battle skills, or I can one-shot them or something like that, you know, that you actually like let your performance you know, let that be the weight that the viewers are gonna feel. Yeah, there were not like many like 3Ds I was like really like impressed with, like performance or like story wise, you know, like 3D debuts. A lot of those were like in the realms of like oh, here's my 3D, look, this like how I look like when I smile, this like how I look like when I'm angry, you know, can't take my jacket off, I can't put it on, you know. This is my room, you know. Oh, here like some guest, you know, guest here. Oh, hello, you know. Hey, can you make me can you do a cat pose? Can you like make a smiley face? Can you like make JoJo pose? Something like that, you know. It's like those kind of like you know, kind of like Japanese TV show-ish kind of like skits. And then they do like some songs here and there, dance, and then yeah. Which can also be fun, I must like say, but you have like, but yeah, no, at some point it's like always like the same thing. Like some do like really well in this entertainment thing, other like are like really stiff, you know. It like depends like how good they can sell it, you know. Hakka's was like kind of funny. like say, I can remember like watching like Vanguards, you know. It was like something of a comedy skit. And then like and here and there like some performances like with him singing there. I remember like his Hakitos like exploding constantly, and this was like kind of the running gag, you know. What can you do? Boom, and then explode, you know. But we like never really know, to be honest, like how the logistics actually are behind like those 3D debuts, you know, like how much manpower do we have there? Do we have a budget actually? How much time do we have to like record like a something for the live, not live, but like 3D debut? What can you do? Like, of course, like cover, you know, like Hololive. Pretty much just like the biggest, like in the VTuber industry. They have like one of the best like 3D studios for like those kind of things there. A good team, you know. I wonder like, but how it is like in the, for every like, you know, talent there. Kind of. I think you probably will never like, get experience unless some people like are going to infiltrate it, you know, join and you know, just to like see the in and outs, and then yeah. Either like a staff son, and what's gonna be more difficult is like, yeah, be a talent. I'm kinda like lazy to draw fingers. I'm not sure. Let's draw like... I'm not sure. Gosh. I'm gonna let it be. Let's draw like the wobbly fingers. Eeh. At least like 4. The thumb is technically not a finger. But yeah. You know, if I think like, for example, like the budget, and you have like the backing of like a geek team, maybe company, compared to like doing it alone, like Doobie, for example, home 3D studio. Like, it's pretty interesting, like what she's able to do alone. Of course, there's a lot of like scuff, technical difficulties, and like she's like just one girl. But still, it's pretty interesting what you are like capable of doing, you know. And even if there's like scuff and like, you know, interruptions, it's like pretty interesting, I must like say. Maybe that's like the reason why they have like those 3D, those loading screens like in those ones. But if it's recorded, you know, not live, why doing those, you know? So I suppose it really must have been like a live show when they have like those loading screen skits there. Like, of course, having a live record is like really authentic, but sometimes I do like think like, you know, maybe it's not that necessary to do it like that. You know, back in the days I always thought this was like live, you know, because it's like, the way they speak, the way they like interact with the other people, I really like felt like, yeah, it's like in the moment, it's like nothing like pre-recorded or so. And yeah. But sometimes, you know, like when you get like a little bit deeper into this phase and like see like how other companies like doing that, you know, kind of like, yeah, you were supposed to fly to Japan, record like your stuff, you know, for the 3D debut, and then here and there and something like that, you know. It was like with first stage production or so, it's like something. But not like in a positive context or so. It had like something to do with drama and so, and yeah, just like something I heard. After like watch like, I don't know, listen to a podcast about like something like 8 hours, 11 hours or so. Well, this was like pretty short one, I think, like maybe, yeah. Short, what is short? It was like something about 6, 7, 8 hours or so. I listened to like something of a podcast, that kind of length. Got educated there. You know what? Full body or I'm not really sure. Banzoin Hakka, a shortened Hakka. Oh. Kinda like trying those, even though I'm stuck at like the physics and everything with that. Just YOLO it and see if it works out. Yeah, I think you get the idea, like why he might be like a pretty small person. Small boy. He's pretty short. He looks like pretty short. And he wears like those shoes that give you like 5 centimeters plus in height or so. Like something like guitars, you know, but I'm not really sure how you call it in like in English. But you know, it's like shoes and then extra long, you know, so that you appear like a little bit bigger. I think like as children I was like about who's bigger than other, when this one's the boss, this one's more dominant, you know. And then adults would always like impose because they are so much huge and larger than we kids were or something like that, you know. It was like always a feeling for me. Like really simple-minded. It's like how things were like decided, you know. Like if they're bigger, they have like larger arms, larger legs, you know, then yeah, they can reach like things a lot better when we are disadvantaged, you know. It's like about who has more leverage, something like that. Really simple-minded. But also, every single time when I like watch movies and when there's a small guy throwing hands with a big guy, and then he can somewhat hold his ground or even win. And it's kind of like, wow, let's go, you know. I want to do that too, you know. Then yeah. And sometimes you get like dumb ideas, and maybe like actually throw hands with like someone bigger maybe when you get humbled. At the same time, like films, videos, you know, like the TV shows, those are like entertainment, you know. At the end of the day, it's like nothing real, but still can like entertain you, give you maybe like inspiration to like try something in life, you know, and then yeah. Kind of like wonder how Hakka was like able to get to like cool collabs towards some of example. Like what did you do? Or did she even reach out to you? Not really sure. But there were like something ground. Of course they are like unicorns. And I heard like something about the Rissa rant or so from, or something like a meltdown or so. It's kind of like, yeah, kind of like very parasocial also. Kind of like, yeah. But the thing is like, if you're like someone in the entertainment industry, you know, of course you will have like fans. Female fans, male fans, you know. Maybe you look like an idol, like the ideal, who should be like untainted there. I think it can be like kind of a cool culture, you know, if you like all collect, like unite to like support like one individual to reach and realize their dreams. To be like along on the journey, be like additional pillar to the support, you know. Be the reason to like continue, like something of the morale, you know, like core of the morale. But some like of those supporters have like some really, I don't know, like really warped ideals, desires, or something like that. That's like not necessarily about the person they support, but like about themselves, you know. Oh, my ideal person should be like this and that, you know. And then if like one of those things are like, yeah, they are talking about boys, or no, like the girl I like is talking about a boy, and like getting contact with them, and yeah, that my eyes, something like that, you know. It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, there are things like family, there are things like, you know, if you work in a job, you can naturally like get contact with some of those, you know. Can be like Oshinoko in the professional industry, you know, like with like things like songwriters, like those who mix your songs, also maybe like your senpais, you know, and you exchange like information like that, or maybe like get their help, you know, something like that, you know. It's kind of like, yeah. It gets weird. But I think like it always has been like a little bit weird. It's kind of like niche, like hobby. I mean, like even Uma Musume feels like a little bit weird, you know. Uma Musume Pretty Derby. I'm kind of like thinking about quitting that game, but there's like some. But you know, when I go to work, I have enough time to do my dailies. Before work even starts, I can make it done, and we have like someone ready for like a champions meeting, you know, eventually. But I can't like. But regarding like events in Uma Musume, I can't like do them fully. You know, I can get maybe like 2 or 3 star, 4 star, like, you know, like on cap, like 4 cap or so. Not really sure how you call it, but like with 4 dupes or something like that, instead of like full 5 dupes or so. Like, things like Uma Musume is such a time sink. Such a waste of that, like the biggest waste of time in my day to day. They could like just end it and then but yeah. But yeah, regarding the example of Uma Musume, you know, it's also like a little bit weird to explain, like why are people like into this game, you know? Same thing like with idols and VTubers, you know. It's also like a little bit weird to explain. But there's like something that feels real about it, I suppose. Like we're like a little bit there on the journey to push them in that direction. And then finally, it's like time when, holy crap, you know. They're doing it, you know, and then yeah. For Uma Musume, it's like you train them, and then you see them on the race field, and then you cheer for them that they can get like first place, you know, that they win the race. Something like that. Because you did invest into them doing well on when it's like on the stage, on the race field. But for VTubers that eventually turn to idols like whole life, you know. You see them they introduce themselves, they seem like dorky or like have like some weaknesses here and there, like a diamond in the rough, you know, unpolished gem. But with time, they polish like their skills, their numbers are like rising, more and more fans are like coming, and then when they finally have the opportunity to shine on stage, you know. Yeah, I suppose this is like where they you know, gain more prominence. How like connections are like established. Not really sure. But there was like something of a pride of sense in myself when I saw like Myth, for example, like finally 3D on stage, you know. They did like a lot of like things, you know, like the VR chat example. Like a lot of like the senpais in JP got like the 3D and everything within a year or something like that. Like when they hit like milestones. But there was like a case, hey, or most subscribed member he has like already 1 million, you know, is that not enough to like get 3D? What do we have to do, you know? And Holostars English, you know, was like not JP, you know, they were like different parts of the world, you know, like US, somewhere in Japan, somewhere like, okay, Canada, something like that, like Canada, US, maybe like Europe, you know, like they were like across the world, and it's kind of like, you know, can we get our 3D? Please, 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 you know. Then yeah. Like there's a lot of advantages like 3D, for example, you know. And I see like Gerard constantly like puts on his like 3D suit, you know, so that he's like able to like do 3D streams, you know, like with his home 3D more like, you know, to be able to stream with that. So that make use of it so that he can like use his gestures or like body language to like communicate, and it's like pretty huge, you know. It doesn't look as pretty as like the live 2D, yes, but you know, you have like the kind of advantage of like that to like communicate better. And that's like was like something cool. Like one recent example, like with Gerard's 3D, you know. You know, you say Fortnite? You say Fortnite? With her signature dance of like BBD Buddy Booba. Gerard actually imitated that, like I saw like clip of this is like kinda cool. So how long I've been on that? 1 hour already. I think I'm gonna keep it simplistic, I suppose. I'm not really sure, I must like say. I'm not sure, man. 1, 2. Here are more fingers. But it's like kind of behind those fingers here, be sure. Or make it convincing enough. Or whatever. Ah, but man, today has been a little bit weird for me, I must like say. Also like, in a sense where I can like see when you're actually able to like think about stuff, how much you can like see on flaws and everything, and like reason to be like concerned. Like if you think about like stuff like people said, you know, that go through your heads. Sometimes you can like see the weaknesses and they call bullshit on that. The thing is like, you know, a lot of people like can find happiness in their life, you know. Even if it's like, you know, a smaller scale, like not as in the sense that like you're the richest person in the world or so, but just like, you know, like regular happiness. This can look like really different, you know, from person to person. The thing is like, if you live like, you know, it's either like working hard for like whatever, studying, college or so, like feel like there's like some point like a way too big of a wall to like overcome. You can just like take the easy route and then take your time and like enjoy life rather than like investing it into like something you might not be able to reach. Like if you can reach it, then sure, you can work on that, but if it's like way too hard, way too BS in your eyes, then yeah, you can always like take the easy path, you know. The thing is like, people who are like happier, they're like, they have a lower risk on like getting a heart attack or something like that. Like a lot of like sicknesses also come like from stress, you know. The more stressed you like are, the more likely it can like be that you get sick, maybe like a heart attack, you know. When like doctors, for example, like medicine students, you know, get to like learn about like a lot of different diseases, you know, and then they get like, they know about the symptoms, you know, and when they at some point get sick and like they notice like some symptoms, you know, it could be like everything like this kind of thing they like study, you know, like they study like about a sickness and then, oh, it could be of this or of that, or you know, and then from there on it will be like, you know, can be like really paranoid about you know, those kind of stuff, which can stress you out and then increase the risk even that you actually will get that specific sickness in the first place, you know. Like there's a little bit of a trade-off, you know, like with knowledge come power, you know, but with that power, you know, it's like also like, yeah. Not a lot of good stories can like handle that well though, like this thing. There needs to be like equal exchange, you know, like when someone's broken or and stupid over, you know, overpowered, then there must be like something of like, yeah, a thing that can balance it out. But yeah, I guess like the price for like knowing a lot of things, yeah, should be like something fair. Ah, das war Ofu das. Ah, I see. Yeah. Zoom into his design. Okay, I can see it. I will try to simplify it though. Yeah, well, he's the exorcist, and they have like those kind of things. It's like really like JP based though, so yeah. Outfits and everything. Yeah, interesting. In what sense is like the easy way? When you think like, man, taking the route of like college or so that you have like the chance of getting a good job, you know, it's like way too ridiculous. I mean, you know, they have like something like, you can like take part-time jobs, you know, something like that. And you have like most of the day for yourself. And still have like enough to like survive. Get pay rent, pay your rent. Have enough for like food and so. I mean, YouTube is for the most part like free. But also you can use the time to like draw, maybe learn to play an instrument or so. Like internet has like a lot of like, I mean like, yeah, you have to pay the bills for internet, but then from there on you have like a lot of like resource, you know. And of course if things like, oh, if you can like look for anything, then you will to like probably learn everything, then you will learn nothing or something like that, you know. It's like something of a thing that Chobit has like warned us about, so like with like there's like in the world like something like androids, like robots, you know, with like that like called the persocons, you know, something like, and they're like basically like things like similar to like our AI companions, or like you know, like convenient tool, and that people like make something like parasocial like. And the more often they like use it, the more like they drift away like from reality, you know, like from interacting with like human people, you know, and then just more like with clankers together. So and what do I wanted to say? Oh yes, like the more time you like spend on like things like ChatGPT, you know, and they get dependent on like, you know, using that, like things like Google, you know, and then one day it will like be gone. Then you're pretty like then you can like pretty much helpless without like that tool, you know. It all depends like, hey, can you still navigate your way through this route, you know, in your city? Do you still need to rely on like things like Google Maps? And if like get from point A to B, and if you, for example, Google Maps get taken away from you, could you still get to this place, you know? Like when this part of your brain, you know, is like not really properly trained, then like, yeah. Like back in the days you didn't have to like worry about like things like, you know, if your smartphone or something gets taken away from you, oh, I will die. Nah, this was back in the day, is not really the case. It's just like, yeah, I will be able to survive that. It will suck a little bit, but I will be able to survive, you know, and get through my day. Like for people back in the days was, what if your phone gets taken away? Well, no, I want to talk to people, you know, but you know, you can talk to them with them in real life, and then something like that, you know. Like something like self-dependency is like important, and like actually that you try to use a resource like internet to like learn something. Like who knows, of course, probably it will like stay around internet, you know, for a very long time, maybe forever, you know. But still it's important while still there to like use it to like, you know, gain the knowledge you want to like learn and like obtain. Maybe like drawing or so, you know. Maybe like animating. Like I had to like visit an art course or like read some books for that, like to like learn some techniques or so. And then it's just like, okay, I'm gonna copy that from this manga because I like this manga, you know. And you get you know, like how people get inspired like by some artists to try like a certain style, you know. But yeah, like if you look like at some artists, you can maybe like see, you know, they get inspired from this artist. And then yeah, like one of the artists I like, you know, is like Anon Sensei, Beton on Beat, you know. He clearly inspired by some Grand Blue Fantasy art, by the Grand Blue Fantasy art, you know, style. So you know, you can like see a little bit of that in his thing. There's like yeah, like some images like come into my mind, you know, and then be like, yeah, they got inspired by this guy. And then yeah. I might have taken a way to like difficult approach there on drawing him. Maybe I should have taken something simple. But whatever. Thing is, like trying to draw something complicated with a simplistic art style is like maybe not the best match, but whatever. Started it, I think I can finish it with that. So, like 1 hour and 20 minutes in, so I think I started drawing like after 4 minutes of the stream. 5 minutes. Okay. Am I satisfied with the line weight so far? I mean, so far it's okay, you know? Nothing like breathtaking. And I think this is like okay, in a sense. A lot of things I'm not happy with, but let's put in some colors for now. I think the corruption I will like also like draw like, you know, like the corruption in his arm I will draw also like it. Oh gosh. Like this. And the background, I like a little bit darker. And then, I think where was the shots? No, there actually are a lot of like VTubers, you know, that are like able to draw. Like in Holo Pro. Some that are like, you know, illustrator level, like Ina, Raora. Some who you don't think they're actually that they're skilled, but actually can draw. Like Oga or like Aokun. No, actually draw really surprisingly well. Reine maybe, you know. Some decent artists like Yuki, Kiara, Kali, you know. Actually like Uncle Herb, also pretty surprisingly okay, good. Maybe like Magni was like pretty fast. Magni's pretty fast, that artist. Was pretty fast. Like regarding his art style, not really like I'm not really the most interested in, because I'm like into this moe anime slop, you know. Or like shonen stuff, you know, but the speed is like wow, you know. The ideas he can come up, you know. The thing is like, if you're fast, then you can deliver your ideas like a lot quicker, you know, than others like what I imagine. Yeah. Can you do this? But in your style, yeah, I can. Then yeah. I saw like something like that when I look at storyboards, you know, when there's like an artist and then there's like a story writer. The story writer can't really draw well, but that's like why he needs an artist for him to do, you know, something like this. Gibby sometimes does art streams. I think like Octavio, Roos wanted to learn art. Gerard does sometimes like art streams, you know, and he can draw okay. He's pretty slow. Yeah. Yeah, I notice it. Yeah, Flayan also like does draw a little bit. Nothing like breathtaking though. It's like a lot of sketches, so I think they were around since how many years? 2 years? 3 years? I think? Not really sure. But I suppose if you like start to become part in like Holo Pro, you will have like less time. Well, it depends like what you're like doing, you know. If you get like invited to like a lot of like 3Ds and you have to practice this and that, you know, new song, a new dance, you get invited, fly to Japan, you know, something like that. Yeah, I figure it will be like pretty busy for life. You know, in a sense, regardless unicorns, you know, oh please don't mention a boy or so. I'm not sure really. I don't think they can actually commit for a relationship or so with another talent or so. I do not think they can. If I think like that about it. They sure can make friendships or so, but actual real relationships, you know, that can turn out into love, I don't really mind, you know, to be honest. They should like find their own happiness. But to be honest, looking at those kind of things, you know, it's like pretty hard. Then, you know, usually like if you want to be with your loved one together, then it's about spending time together, you know. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do my 11-hour stream, and then yeah, you know, what's gonna the partner think about that, you know? Most people would be chill about it, you know. Like, you know, it's like kind of this view. Oh, he's shouldn't talk, thinking about another woman. Then they just think about streaming the next project or something like that, you know. I have to think about my fans, you know. I need to do this and this work. You know, I have this deadline. There's like not much time to think about romance, you know. And I think like, you know, when I saw like those kind of announcements regarding some voice actors, you know, there was like this voice actor from John Giovanna and like Hanasawa Kana, you know. Like Kenshi Ono, and then like Kana also. They were too busy with their jobs, you know, so they couldn't really like. I think like it's kind of like that they were way too busy with their jobs. They can't really like focus on their relationship, you know, and then yeah, they broke up or so. something like that. So I really like figure like in the entertainment business, you know, it's like kind of difficult, you know, especially like if the other guy is also like a voice actor, you know. And if I think like about talent to talent, it's kind of like hard, you know. Sometimes you get like really good chemistry, like Robber Nightmare, you know, or like with Winning Sun, but also at the same time I can see this is gonna be super difficult if you're gonna try to still stay as Holostars or so, you know. If ASCII, for example, I'm not sure, like, I think like I'm not gonna like mention like things like about their real life or so. But there's a little bit of like, okay, we know, you know, but we're not gonna we're gonna keep it in a bubble or no, you know, something like that. There's like something with everyone. I think like you know, Nimi Nightmare? You got like married. Right? It's like kind of like cool that she was able to find happiness, you know. She's like just independent VTuber, but you know, if you were like an idol entertainment industry, like not like as an individual, but like in a company that's like kind of like building their meta around that, I do imagine it's gonna be super difficult to get anything started there, you know. Well, there are some cases like the voice actor of like Koharu from Blue Archive, you know, who was like able to get married, you know. And so far I didn't have like anything bad since like a breakup or so, you know. But I guess yeah, they were like maybe the guy she married is like not in the entertainment industry, just like a regular person, you know, just like innocent love, maybe, I'm not sure, you know. Could be something like that. If I, you know, could like choose a voice actor, so then, oh, my favorite voice, you know, please speak in this voice, you know, something like that, rather than like, you know, seeing them for the person they are, yeah, you know, something like that. And yeah, I wouldn't be like a fantastic partner, I must like say. I would be also like really like, yeah, please speak this voice to me, you know. Oh, I like that voice. Even if they do this really good, it's a profession. I think like, yeah, this shouldn't be like a normal thing, you know, in their life. The thing is really like the long lasting, the things like that are like better in a longer lasting way, you know. Not like momentarily, but it's like what's like better in the long term. He got your earpiece there. I forgot to draw that. Oh gosh. Maybe I'm not gonna draw this. Like in Chibi, you don't have to draw all the details. I must like say. I think I can simplify that. Like just like that, you know. I don't have to draw absolutely everything. Like here's some accessories, you know, more earpieces or so, like some extra stuff, you know. But yeah, I could draw them, but I forgot to draw them and be like, okay, so be it, you know. In Chibi you can usually like afford to not draw those, still make the character recognizable. As long as the core stuff is in there, then it's all good. Like Goku needs his like weird hair, then it's all good, you know. You draw like something, a blob of orange, you know, but yeah, Jaja. Is Piccolo recognizable? Well, you just need to give him his core colors. Like, there are not many green guys in like anime manga, right? But yeah. Oh man, Piccolo's really like our farmer. You're really good at that. His arm is corrupted, or his hand's corrupted. A little bit interesting, like they're probably not able to like draw that well. There's like some veins here and there, and the rest is it. And then the other hand is like normal, but it has like long fingernails, something like that. It's kind of interesting. I must like say this design choice, you know, to give boys like long fingernails. It's like usually something really feminine, you know. I mean, there's surely like boys that go two ways and can be like funny. Like some skits, you know, like it's just like bros being bros and like it's you know, kind of. But yeah, I kind of like Axel's reactions, you know. It's kind of normal how he reacts, you know. Yo, I'm not gay, you know, something like that. But because he's like so vehemently against it, it's like more fun to tease him, you know. If he just would give in, then I think it would stop there. But I think it's more interesting this way to keep it like that way, I suppose. That they can still milk him out, I suppose. He's way too like straightforward or so. It's like, you know, he's an Asian, pretty much, you know. Asians are not really like good in like those kind of joke things. But rather than like saying they're not good at joke things, they can be comedians and everything. But I mean, like on like discerning irony, you know, sarcasm. Oh, that's nothing serious, you know. Like, and sometimes with not being able to like discern that sarcasm or like irony, you know, they're also like sometimes not able to be like, yeah, they are it's just a joke, you know, this is just a bit, you know, that they're like doing. Then yeah, like some people are like pretty aware, really aware, you know, we're doing a bit here, then they roll along with it, you know. Then like some people have like really good awareness on like that, to like make some of the best moments in entertainment, you know, like those who can like do really good stand-up comedy or so, you know. Like Battle is like a background in that regarding stand-up comedy. But the thing is, like, only like stand-up comedy, that he cannot really script anything, you know, like that he's like learning by heart and then learning like memorizing it and then like rattling it down when it's like time. But it needs to be like, you know, on the spot, and then he comes like with the best ideas. There's some people like that. I mean, like live streaming is even more important to be able to like, you know, come up like with things spontaneously. But I think like the biggest part of his why he got like the numbers is like probably his artist, Sensaki Sensei, did such a good job on like making model. He looks so handsome, but then the guy's just like some funny hee hee haha idiot sandbag and everything, you know. Like he's a jester, you know, like a fool. And that's how he gets treated, you know. Like it's not in the sense of like mysterious handsome guy. He's just like he's dumb, but he happens to look like really attractive, you know, something like that. Something you can dunk on, you know. But you know, first impression when I saw Battle's model, I really was like thinking he might be like the mysterious, mischievous guy, you know. Handsome everything, but when he actually debuted, he was like, yeah, not really like what I expected, but actually this works too, you know. If Hakka, he was really alive. And I was like, okay, I think this works out. He spoke like Spanish in his debut stream, something I remember. And then Yago slapped him. You could like hear a slap like across the stream. And then Yago's voice, and then Hakka would like give in, you know, I'm sorry, and then I will speak English, and then yeah. I think Axel makes like the bit on like, ah, you're Mexican. No, I'm not Mexican, you know, something like that. I'm not really sure. Like the way he he's like trying to make bits is like kind of like, you know, he's trying, but it doesn't really like land or so for me. Yeah. But he's, well, I don't know, like even if he like does this like stupid shit there, I don't know, I still like show up to like watch them, you know. He's kind of consistent for me. Even though I don't understand, like, well, there's a little bit of language barrier now, like regarding Japanese and like English. I'm still like learning a little bit here and there, but I do like recognize like something about this guy as well. Like I like to stay around like a little bit, you know, to figure them out, like how they work, what their strategy is, you know, and if I vibe with it, if I like it, you know, I'm gonna stay around, you know. Sometimes it's just like about the vibes on like, you know, are they the chosen one, you know, or it's just like, the thing is like, as well, I could watch everyone, but I only have like so much time in the day. I can't like sacrifice my entire free time, you know, for all of them. And everyone has like their own like goals, dreams, and like hopes as well in life, right? Like something that like moves them forward. Not necessarily like a person they are like, you know, they can sympathize with, but you know, something like more long lasting. Because the thing is like, VTubers are like from short life duration actually. They can be like house pets and like only exist like for 4 years or so. Maybe like 10 or so, I don't know. We haven't like reached 10 years yet, really. I was like maybe 2018, not really sure anymore. I got like into it like somewhere around 2019 with watching VTube. But yeah, we haven't reached 10 years yet. And I mean like VTubing is still like pretty new, you know. Not really sure like what Kava's like trying to do with some of the projects, but I think like the card games are pretty cool, or like the rhythm game, you know. But regarding them making Holostars, I don't really know. Like trying to make like an open world sandbox, you know, like Minecraft. So no. So that they can make their own servers and like own, I don't know, have to do like GTA roleplay streams, you know, something like that. They can have their own like stuff there, I think. They also treated like things like holo witches also. Like some magical girls of some of the girls, but a lot of those that were like part of this holo witches thing actually graduated, so it's kind of like, yeah, you know, okay, this kind of like sucks now. What now? You know, it's really like a risk, you know, because you can't reuse the IP really, because they graduated, you know. Like for them to voice the role again, like you can't like skinwalk them, you know. This is like really big of a risk, you know. If it's like about one individual alone you make a project out of, then I think this can like work out, you know. But then you really need the writing to like make that work out, you know. I think like Tokino-so got her own like game or so, like horror game, like Holo Era, not really sure. Something like that, and I saw like a little bit of skits here and there on like, it's not comedy skits, but like, you know, like characters that look like Fubuki, Matsuri, you know, but they have like different names in this world, you know. They wear like a JK outfit, like high school girl outfit, you know, something like that, and they have like different personalities there, like in the world of like Whole-Life Error. I wishlisted the game, I think, but I never got to play it really. It's like I saw like some gameplay on their streams when like I saw the reviews, and it's kind of like, you know, the idea's cool, but the execution's like not as amazing, you know, like of the game. Like, yeah, dude, they are like I suppose, you know, they are making VTubers, they're making entertainment, they're not really like, they're not really good at like making like actual games, you know, when yeah. But like projects like from Marin Sensho, you know, like a high school the thing that she did in high school, you know, like an RPG with her own characters and everything. And actually it got like attention of like some really high level seiyus who got attention to that, and then hey, we want to voice your project, you know, and now it gets like a lot more, you know, a lot more like AAA, no, not AAA, but like it's nothing like small and like that you did for a hobby, but actually it gets like to something more professional, you know, vibe level, you know. And it has been announced that they're like working on that, but I'm not really sure like when they get like done at it, you know. I think like, I don't know, sure, 2025 or like 2024? When did they start? I'm not really sure, but I saw like some clips here and there. It looked like really promising. Getting professional voice actors to like speak those roles in an RPG maker game. And the reactions of like Subaru, you know, playing this game are like kind of cool. They're like kind of a lot of like things you can like be a Tsukumi about and be like, Dondoke, you know, what the hell is this shit? You know. And yeah, I kind of like am curious about like Marin Sensho's like writing, you know. And if she has to actually voice some of the scenes as well, because man, she is a voice actor, you know. Maybe she has a background, I'm not sure, but she has like some really like hard, you know, something like that she ate paper or something like that, you know, that she did actually struggle in her life, but she's so skilled, you know. I could like say talented, but like you have to be careful with it as well, you know. She's really skilled. She has like a lot of things she can like do. She can draw, she can come up with stories like that, she knows like how to handle RPG Maker, she can voice act, she can sing, she can dance, she has like this personality, you know, of like being alluring, you know. Her English is like, you know, also like cute. she gets better at it even, you know, like more vocab. What's not there? Like, you know, it's pretty nice, you know. I love hard-working people. But yeah, I kind of like talk about like whole life and like making games, and I kind of like I got into a marine, you know. But yeah, if it comes like not like to the company, but like actually like to the individual, like their cooking, you know, and it's kind of like, yeah, maybe we, you know, gonna focus on the projects of like the talents rather than like doing your own things with the money, you know. Kind of feel like it gets wasted, you know. But just like my 2 cents, I don't know. But yeah, as long as the talents are happy, I think like it's still fine, you know. As long as my Oshis, as long as your Oshi is happy, I think like the sentiment, you know, as long as my Oshi is happy, then it's alright, you know. Like this is the kind of priority there, rather than like, you know, the projects. They can like still look cool, you know, a little bit hype when they like make trailers and so, but still there needs to be like something like properly done with those. I heard like that Flareon wants to make like his own game or so. Something like that explores like his lore or something like that. Not really sure like how long it has been. Like I never heard it from himself, I just like heard like another YouTuber talk about it or so. Like write about it, let's say. And it was like, oh, okay. I never like fact checked that, to be honest. I should like actually, you know. Usually a lot of the things like I know are like kind of heard about it from the streamer themselves, you know, like from the source. And then be like, yeah, can I casually talk about it, you know. But most of my knowledge goes back to like the first year when I like watched Holomyth only, or like the second year like semi, and then like with like council. Back then they were called council, now they're promise, you know. But yeah, I kind of like it like with promise or like council, you know, when they started debut, then they would like stream a lot of things that relate to their theme. Like Ronnie would like play a lot of games that are like time related, things like Super Hot, for example, you know, like a 3D shooter game. It was like with 3D shooter games, like virtual reality, you know, like with the VR headset, and then with a 360, and then you have like, yeah, a gun, you know, you could like slow more time and like one shot them all, so you know, something like that. I remember like He's in the Eye playing that, you know, like this was the first time I saw this context like super hot. Super hot. Super hot. No, something like that, yeah. I remember that. But that's for like the really ancient times. I think like Nekomiya Hinata? No, actually not. The thing like every like I was like at some point I like only watched Nekomiya Hinata at some point, you know, or like at least the videos, like they had the video content, you know. It would look like kind of let's plays, kind of, you know. Like PUBG, something like that, yeah. Fortnite at some point too, then oh, look, she always gets a high ground, something like that. And what's like funny about Aicha, you know, Kizuna Ai was, she was so funny. It's so funny how bad she is like at games, you know. But when it's like things like story games, you know, like things like Detroit Become Human back in the days, you know. This was kind of the time when like this game came out also. This was kind of like cool. But then the thing is, like, David Cage, not really good at like, not really the best at like writing also. It's like kind of like infamous, you know, but still like the first act of like Kara, for example, was kind of like cool, you know. And then like the story between like Connor and like the detective together, you know, it was like something like, you know, black dude, white dude, like in a sense like Android and like a white dude, and then you know, they don't really understand each other, but at some point they learn to respect each other in a sense, you know, something like that. And become friends, you know, the friendships like like when it has like something of thorny path, but then you kind of like overcome this thorniness, and you know, and it's kind of satisfying, like see this plume actually, you know. Not really sure like how to explain it, but when the difficulties, you know, then it's like more interesting rather than like if everything goes like along smoothly, you know. Like that character they have to warm up to you rather than like instantly love you, you know, things like that. Cats, for example, are like that too, you know, like really interesting like individuals. I mean, this makes sense, you know, you have to work to get something. You need to like work hard for it to make it come true. There's something wrong about the hair here. I think this is easy. This here are feathers. Like an hair accessory. Yeah, they're like blackish around the end. Okay, about 2 hours in. Think. Where the end here is darker. Like around the tips of those spiky hair, it's like darker, so somewhere in the roots as well. Purple guys. We had like Magni, we had Battle, we had like... Battle is like somewhat purplish, you know. Hakka. What about Vanguard? There's no purple. There's like red, blue, and red, blue, and green. Red, blue, I've kind of like think like Bruce, you know, of the jacket or so, not really his hairstyle. Like if you remove his jacket and he's just like a mix of like brown, black, and cookie cutter hair or so. I say like cookie cutter, but it's kind of like the cookie colors, also, you know, cookie under cream, you know. Ai, nani ga suki? Something like that. Oh gosh. Today was a kind of eventful day. But also like somewhere I had to use my brain and like call bullshit on some stuff. Let's say, you know, I have a job. It's kind of okay of our job, but the payment is not really good. I would like say, you know, like let's say like the work atmosphere is good. The work itself is also like good, you know. Like work atmosphere, like the co-workers are okay, you know. The work itself is like good. It's like nothing like where my life is in danger, or where I get yelled at from customers or so. It's like a job where I don't have like an audience, you know. I can like work on my own and be in peace. But you know, even though like in 2 points it's like one A, you know, like regarding payments, it's kind of like it's kind of a D, a E maybe, you know. And yeah, it was like something of presentation from like the chef, the boss of the company. TLDRs like he wants us to work harder. The company used to be the best in like our country in this kind of field, you know. I wish you could like work harder, so can we get back there, you know, something like that. But the thing is kind of like, if you present a rainbow, you also have to place a gold pot like at the end of the rainbow, so that we like, you know what's there in it for us, you know, rather than like some glory and like some big name for a company or something like that. End of the day, we are still humans. Humans like think for themselves, not like necessarily like for organization, like for like group or so, you know. Humans are, you know, I think like, you know, I'm also like egoistic, maybe you are too, you know, like money it's not necessarily what makes you happy, but it solves a lot of problems, you know. And money and problems that like resolve like money, that like are resolved with money, are like the easiest problems to deal with, like one of the easiest ones, one of the simpler ones to like deal with. So yeah, I kind of was like careful about like C clapping there first, you know, autopiloting to C clapping, you know, like there were people like who could clap there, maybe like half the audience or so. I was like kind of like hesitating there. Like the kind of like talk, the presentation was like good, but just the thing is like, where do we get our cake, you know, as like the workforce? Is there anything for us in there, you know? Like, do we get more money or so? There was not really a talk about that, so I will just continue to like work the bare minimum, you know, kind of like that. And according to other co-workers or so, oh, they do the same thing every single year, you know, and like 10 years in a row, nothing really has changed, you know. Yeah, just the bare minimum. Next time, don't work as hard anymore, you know, something like that. And then yeah, I kind of like figure maybe like the current boss is like not as, he doesn't have the impression of me like being like, you know, money hungry, power hungry or so, but I kind of feel like, kind of like feels like something's lacking, like something of our core or so. Like I don't feel like it's written by AI or so, but I really feel like something of our, you know, rip is like missing there. And if you don't really if we don't really know if we do it like for a prize or so, you know, for a treat or so, you know, like a dog, you know, a cat, they need to like know, is there a treat for me? Is there like something on a head pat, like cheek rubbing or so, anything for me? No reward, what a waste of time, you know. And I would like say I don't really feel all that happy today, you know. I mean, like it's not like blissful ignorance, you know. I actually like turn on my brain and yeah, kind of like concluded, man, it's kind of depressing, you know. But you know, being like a little bit able to like think like through things, like see to some BS or so, it gives you like at least like some peace. And if you actually encounter like something and you actually like use your brain to like think through it and still a good thing to, you know, in the end of the day, then, you know, this can give you peace. But it's like not really like the most like happy fit life to like be able to like, you know. I think like most of the people are not really like too much into it. They live like in the moment, they like focus on like things they like interested in, so you know, but some things that like involve your everyday life and survival, you know, then you can't really like turn your eyes away from that, you know. Then yeah, I for my part think like, you know, I'm still like doing a full-time job, but it's like not one that's like the best paid. It's still better than a lot of people like in the world, you know. I'm like better paid than the average Japanese or so. But yeah, I think like I should like prioritize my time a little bit more. Maybe like next year or so. I could like technically finish with like any time like my current job, but I also need to like find an alternative like for a part-time job or so, you know. Then maybe have like more time to stream also, you know. Like thinking about myself a little bit. But regarding the art, I would like to do more as well. We're gonna like see how this will like go. I'm just not done yet. I think like do like a little bit of shadows or so, like at least like how you call it, and then yeah, I have color depths, yeah, color depths or so, and then not lighting, and then maybe like with some effects and we haven't done. I keep it simple, but I think like for the basic idea on this pose, let's see if I can pull it off. Usually I use like some color splatter to like finish off the picture, but I gotta like see if this actually like works well. Some really artistic thing. But I'm gonna like see. I'm more comfortable like drawing in like monochrome actually. I can like still color and stuff, but I'm more confident like try monochrome-ish, like something that looks like sketchy-ish, rather than like with ink and like Polish like manga art. Like if I think about it, a lot of like manga are like drawn like that, you know. But there are like some cool like what do you call it? It's like kind of a weird title, but Onani Master Kurosawa. It looks like something that has been drawn like with a pencil, like really sketchy and so. But the storytelling is like pretty good. you know. If you can do it like with this amount of effort, you know, and people like acknowledge it's like as a good kind of like story medium, a story as well, you know. And I think, yeah, maybe we can go this path too. But yeah, gonna like see. Color splatter. It's like a lot of purple stuff, but they're kind of pretty, the color splatters. I mean, the colors are pretty. But is it pretty in its as a full image, you know? Also like the question, like, what do I want to convey with that even? And I like think like about something cool, but it becomes more pretty rather than cool. Hey, nande da yo. My vision, whatever. But yeah, I think like gonna work with a mix out of that, I suppose. Even the cat is gonna be like, yeah, why are you struggling, man? You know, what's so hard about that? You just put up some color there, and we're like, yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, he's an exorcist, you know, so I feel like it should be like something ethereal. And maybe, you know what, I'm gonna do lighting. Make it a little bit darker, I suppose. Yeah, let's try like that. A little bit darker. Oh gosh, I think like this was like a cold gray. Hold my only light technique about lighting, but I think like I'm not gonna use the lighting necessarily, just like making it a little bit darker, so that like this stands out a little bit more. Even that, like I have to like reduce the opacity, or how you call it, a little bit, and like smudge it a little bit. I don't really need it, and then yeah. Shall I work with color touches or so? Actually with lighting? Now I'm curious if I should actually do it. I think I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna pull up the tutorial. It's the only like thing I use, but not really like know. I must like say. But the thing is like, yeah, internet is like really useful resource. If you are like want to learn arts, you know, But you have to like, you know, get to that. Actually like get your ass up and like pull up the resources. Like even YouTube is like pretty good there, but YouTube, there's a little bit of a danger of like scrolling, constantly scrolling, you know. Like that you get a new video recommended and then you like also like the YouTube shorts and stuff, you know. Like yeah, even like in how it's called, even like in YouTube shorts you get like really good YouTube tutorials, really good tutorials, really good tips, you know. And it's like pretty short, it's pretty it's like you know, not really taking too much time, but still takes time, you know. Those are like feathers. Whatever. I'm doing whatever. Okay, this is like 2 hours and 20, roughly. Erase it where I don't need. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I could cook a little bit more, but I think let's call it like a quits of the art challenge. This has been all for today. Thank you for listening to my yap. I think there's like a lot of things unrelated to like a lot of unrelated stuff here and there, but I think like if you try to like do Satsudan mitten like while you like do drawing, then yeah, it can like diverge into like different branches of like whatever. And yeah, but I think like I talk about Holostars, I talk like about Hololive projects here and there. And I think about it, Holostars didn't have many projects, but they do actually cool things, you know, that does get overlooked. But yeah, in any case, I wish you all a nice rest of the day, evening, good night, whatever time zone the world you all are. With that, I'm gonna say bye bye.